Live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the coolest dog training channel on the planet. I am here in Miami, Florida. Absolutely hot. Very hot here. Hope everyone's doing very well. When you get here, of course, leave your comments below. Let me know you guys are here. And we're going to get started today, and we're going to talk about why your dog doesn't listen to you when you're outside. So, as you can see, I have these because I've been flying the last couple of days. I lost my Sweden. I lost my AirPods. Anyway, moving forward, so many dogs come outside. They do not listen to their owners. They're yip-yapping. They're barking at every other dog. They're barking at people. They're pulling on the leash. And a lot of questions we've gotten on my Instagram when we did the what do you guys want to hear for a topic while we get our other production videos up tomorrow and the rest of the week is the main one came in is why won't my dog listen to me when I'm outside? Why won't my dog listen to me when we've done the training inside and when we try to go outside, the dog doesn't listen? I'm going to go over that in depth. We're going to have a conversation, and I want you guys to give me some feedback as we do this because this is our break time in between training, and I want to hang out with you guys. So first question is why not? Why would your dog listen to you when you're outside? What are you giving your dog to have a higher currency than what's around them, such as flowers, other dogs, anything, literally anything? What are you doing to make your relationship better or have more currency and add more value to your dog? What are you actually doing? Are you just coming outside and expecting your dog to turn and look at you and have them engage with you the entire time? Really, you got to really realize your goals. And a lot of times what happens is when people come out, they expect their dogs to just be content and happy on the leash and just walk around. And obviously, if you're watching this video, that probably isn't the case. So take into consideration how much activity and how much stimulation your dog gets on a regular basis. If your dog gets out of the house for a walk once a day, once a week, whatever, you have to consider these things because if they're in the house, they're animals. So if they're in the house and they're doing nothing all day and laying around and just waiting for something to do, and then you go outside and you expect them to listen to you, I believe that's not fair, and that's not probably going to happen either. Just right now, this is a pretty dog-friendly hotel, and even before I left New York, I would go on walks, and all the dogs in the windows are barking. All the dogs that are on the leash, that are outside to go pee and poop, are barking at us. Why? Because they have nothing else to do, and their mental stimulation is minimal or zero. So, take that into consideration. Why won't your dog listen to you when you're outside? Imagine being in detention all day, just sitting there, not necessarily being punished, but you're not doing anything. And then all of a sudden they go, hey, let's go outside. You're like, heck yeah, let's do it. And you go out and you literally you're not going to listen to anybody because you're gone. You're outletting that on something. So bringing your dog outside and having them a little bit more social outside and a little bit more used to being outside and desensitizing the whole outside process is one step to do. But also not teaching them an engaging command is also a step that really will make you downfall when you're outside and you're engaging with your dog. So really quick, if you guys are here, like this video and let me know if you have any questions, and I'm gonna Lisa, thank you for hopping on live. I'm gonna answer some questions after this, but this video is why won't your dog listen to you outside? And again, talking about the exercise that you provide and the stimulation that you provide, and then why does your dog bark at other dogs when they're outside? Again, dogs are animals. They when they see other dogs when they're outside, they're obviously going to react accordingly. A really well-balanced, well-exercised dog is not going to go out and bark at everybody because they're used to being outside. They've been on the walk every single day, or they've been on a walk a couple times that day, or whatever it may be, and they're used to being outside. So they're not going to go out and bark at everything they see and they become overstimulated because they're used to being outside, and this is something that they're used to. So typically dogs will bark at other dogs when they're outside for that exact reason, is they literally have nothing else to do. They maybe go outside once or twice. So that's overstimulation. Just because a dog barks at another dog it's not necessarily a negative thing. They're just saying, hey, what's up? What are you doing? And they're barking and they're yipping because they have nothing else to do. The owners pull them back and say, stop, stop, stop. And then it becomes a thing. And that's just what you do every single time your dog sees a dog. So you're basically training the dog and conditioning the dog to bark and become negative outside. Adolescent, younger dogs, puppies, playful dogs, dogs that like to play and like to be social. When you're outside, your dog is going to be literally pulling you around and trying to play with the other dogs and completely disengaging with you. Why is that? Why would your dog go outside and disengage with you? Again, I think the other thing is just making sure that we understand that it is completely okay for dogs to be social. They're social animals. So we can't yell at them for trying to engage with another dog, trying to interact with another dog, but you have to make sure that your obedience is matching up with your realistic expectations. So when you're out with your dog and your dog sees another dog and they whine and they yell and they scream and they want to, you need to be able to say, hey, leave it, you're working right now. Obedience is literally obey. So when you say, hey, leave it, you're working, we don't know that dog, we don't have time for that dog, we're running late, whatever it may be. When dogs see each other when they're outside, they're going to see each other and be like, hey man, what's up? They're not going to, with humans, we're like, we don't know them, they're busy, they're with their family, whatever. When dogs see each other, they're ready to go. They're not politically correct. They're not like, hey, you're busy, you're with your family. They're going to say, hey, let's play or let's interact. So when you have a very young social dog, and your dog's not listening to you when you're out, that's probably because you're not ready for that type of training yet. So you're setting yourself up by failing the dog by going outside and saying, hey, buddy, listen. And your dog's like scraping to get to the other dog and trying to play and crying and whining and wagging their tail. And you're frustrated as heck because you're like, oh, man, my dog's not healing, my dog's not sitting, my dog's not staying. And all your training goes out the window and your dog doesn't listen to you outside. Well, that's just because you're probably just not ready for that step yet. And that's very, very, very common with dog trainers and dog owners, is they put their dogs into these situations where they're not ready yet and they get frustrated and they fail. So that's I think one big thing of why dogs don't listen to their owners when they're outside is simply because you're just not ready for that step yet. It takes a very long, gradual process when you have a young, social dog to get out there and see other dogs and say, oh, I'm training, I can't look at you. That takes a very long time for dogs to desensitize to that process. And again, going back to the original thing that I said in the beginning of the video, is if your dog gets out once a day, once a week, or whatever it may be, under the circumstances that you're in, it's not fair to get the dog out and say, hey, pay attention to me and only me when there's other dogs and your dog's becoming social and your dog wants to go out and play. And so those are some main contributing factors. Oh, really quick, guys, if you guys are here, like this video, ask me your dog training questions below. I'm going to answer them here in a minute. But those are some contributing factors to why dogs don't listen to you outside. Why would they? What are you doing to add more currency and to add? And the other thing is just teaching your dog a simple focus command to get your dog onto you. Now, the other side to that is once people realize that, once they realize how they can get their dog's attention, and once they realize that it's okay if their dog is going after, or not going after, but if their dog is engaged into other dogs, you have to also expect that decompression or that break. So when you're out, especially with your adolescent dog, and especially with a dog that you haven't been doing that much training with outside, you do need that decompression. You can't expect your dog to listen to you the entire time while you're outside. You're going to get dragged and you're going to get frustrated. So that's where the break command comes into play. So incrementally, like if you were to walk here and walk out, I would heel from this planter to this planter and then give the dog a break. And then I would maybe heel from here to here and then give a dog a break. So when you're out, don't have too high of expectation. Oh, you guys almost fell there. Don't have too high of expectation of when you're out, you want your dog completely locked into you the entire time. I don't do that. Nobody actually does that. Even service dog trainers or service dog training, we're not going to expect them to completely lock eyes with us the entire time. How do we get, okay, so anyway, before I get into questions, let's see. answering some questions here. Let's see. I hope all that information made sense about going out and being realistic with your dog, and then also understanding that dogs are social and it's okay foods, and you have to have boundaries to. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, I think my Wi-Fi is a little. Actually, I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm on my service. Is a little weird. I want you guys to leave questions in the comments below after I launch this video, and I'm going to answer them accordingly as they come in. But somebody just asked how to create the focus command. So you're just going to get food, or you're going to get some sort of reward for the dog, and you're going to have the command be boom right here, right at your face, and you're going to reward the dog when they look at you using your verbal marker, your yes, your good focus, good look, good on me, whatever you want to call it. And then as soon as the dog looks at you, you're going to pay them with the food. The important thing with that is to make sure you transition out the food delivery system, where if the dog's here, you don't want to constantly be paying from here, because then the dog's only going to be focusing on the food. So making sure you can take your reward, move it away. If the dog's still locked in, then you pay them. So just making sure that the dog is not just following the food and is actually doing the behavior you want them to do. Just focus right here, and then over time you develop that in series, just like we do with anything else. You're not going to go outside after you do focused once and then get the dog to do what you want to do. So anyway, I'm going to answer questions. You guys leave in the comments below. Remember, like this 70,000 subscribers, which is absolutely input of the content, because I'm seeing how much of a value it brings to dog owners, and how many messages and emails that we get about people saying how much that the situations that some of my clients are in out of the state are helping them. So I'm going to continue to travel and train as long as you guys keep staying engaged on here, as long as you guys keep engaging. So that's basically how we can tell how people are engaging with my YouTube channel and how people are engaging with these videos, is leaving comments and leaving likes on the video to let me know you guys are watching and paying attention and you enjoy the videos that I'm doing. And if that continues to happen, and then we're going to continue to keep putting out videos. So if you guys haven't yet, leave a comment below, like the video, of course subscribe if you feel like this is valuable to you. But anyway, leave your comments after this live video. I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to go up to my room, start getting on these questions, and I'm excited to talk to you guys.